sign.
And then you'll just pass that over to Rhonda when. Wow, we have people jumping on already. Okay, you're on. All right, everybody. I have you can't see it, but I have a big smile on my face because today we have triple fun. We have Becky is here and Rhonda and Janene. Then there's Janene. So we have 3 Meet the Staff today, and I'm so excited. And you guys, these gals are all doing it today on the same day. And I think it was Becky said she's putting on her big girl panties. And so anyway, we're going to have all 3 of our staff members, and these guys mostly work during the day. So you probably have talked to them on the phone or come in and seen them during the day, and we're going to talk to them and learn more about them. And if you have questions, bring on the questions because everybody loves questions, right? And Becky is going to be first up. And then if I could mention, it's kind of coincidental, but these 3 gals are what I call our car gals because they all have old cars and go to car shows. So to me, I think that's really cool. And Mary says hello. We got a lot of people saying
Mary
hello.
from Maine.
Mary from
Hi,
Maine.
Mary
Yep,
from Maine.
Juanita's here. Hi, Juanita. And OSHA's counting down the days till next weekend for the crop. So we got people
I'm
coming
anxious
to
to
that.
bop in and see some
Oh,
of
it's
you.
going to be fun. It's going to be really fun. Okay, well, we're going to start with Becky. You get to go first. You're the lucky winner. So I don't know if you want to tell us about yourself first or tell us about your layout.
I will start with myself. I'm a retiree, I guess. I spent the first 40 years of my career working in the insurance industry. And then after retirement, I was home for about 5 years, and now I'm here. I've been at Memory Mound for about a year.
Yeah, so she had a real job and retired from that. That's what I like to call them, is real jobs.
I have a husband and 2 children and 4 grandchildren, and I'm kind of highlighting the oldest one today. For those of you that don't know, I have a granddaughter that wrestles, and it was in January of 2022 that the state of Iowa sanctioned girls wrestling, so it's now become an official school sport.
So it's really only been a year. Mm-hmm. That I wonder how many other states is that? Do you know, Becky? Is that kind of common? Or?
But it really limited who the girls can wrestle. They can only wrestle girls now versus my granddaughter used to have to wrestle boys because there wasn't enough girls. And
well, I think that's a pretty unique sport because it is new. So I think that's a pretty unique sport, and that's pretty cool.
So this is my oldest one. Her name is Bella, and she is a junior at Southeast Polk High School here in Des Moines. And these are kind of a recap of her wrestling pictures. She went to state this past weekend, and these are some that were taken there.
They're fresh photos then, I would say, aren't they?
This is my daughter and I. I'll kind of go around. This is where she's going on the mat for one of her matches. And this one, the photographer was on the edge of the mat, and he's one of our team photographers. And she looked right at him and just pointed. It was just so ironic. And then this is the overall. She placed 3rd in the state of Iowa in the 170
really cool.
division.
That's great.
So we got the podium, and then here's just a close-up of her. And this is all from the Color Vibe. I selected
she went
bold.
and got the bold. So she's using the bold. And Becky, Darlene says Virginia's had girls wrestling for a couple years.
Oh, good.
And I like OSHA. She says girl power all the way.
That's right. That is definitely right.
Okay. All right. That is, somebody just said, is that cardstock? And no, she used Color Vibe. So and she went and got the bolds.
And then I used the chipboard bits bold, and that is
so the stars.
The stars. And this little arrow.
The arrow and that little tab.
Mm-hmm. But with these, I took the cardstock or the collection, and I cut 1/2-inch strips. And then I started and I cut them like this one was 11, this one was 10 and a half, this one was 10, and just so on down.
Just a 1/2 inch shorter?
Yeah, just 1/2 inch. And this one, I think I went 1/4 of an inch shorter than this one, just to give it a nice rounded effect. Just dovetailed them on my freehand and.
Well, I love the layout, and I think you could do that for a lot of different things if you don't have wrestling with the wrestling mat in the middle. And Becky, it did take me a little bit to realize that was a wrestling mat at first. You could do a feature photo, you could do a basketball, you could do football, just more photos. I do love that background.
The only thing I added that wasn't in the original pack, the white color vibe was one that I got extra.
Okay.
And then this was a black, and I used the back side of the black.
Oh, so you cut that out and made your own wrestling mat.
I drew around.
Oh my gosh.
I drew around a plate,
and
then cut it out, and then the gray was from a piece of charcoal.
I thought that was like on a paper, and you cut it out of a paper. What a good idea to make your own wrestling mat.
I had to have it small enough that it fit within the circle. And I tried like a salad plate or a bread and butter plate, and I tried a luncheon plate, and I ended up, that's the luncheon plate.
Well, Jennifer loves it. She wants to know how long you've been scrapbooking.
Oh, gee, I've been playing around with this probably 7 or 8 years. Not a whole long time.
Well, that's pretty good, though.
And I find myself gravitating back to cards. I started with cards, and then I went to this, and then I just kind of always gravitate back to cards. But this was a fun challenge.
Yeah, in case you haven't been following Memory Bound, we asked our staff to make a layout about themselves for our Meet the Staff. I'm getting me and 23 mixed up with Meet the Staff. But we're having a special thing in February called Meet the Staff, Who's Who at Memory Bound, and we're also featuring the color vibe. So that was the paper that Becky used for this layout, and then the chipboard, and my gosh, I bet you could hardly tell you used any of the chipboard because you get so much in here, 120 pieces.
Yeah, and then this one is a piece of the little gold thing on the side of the picture is a chipboard piece.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks really good. All right. Well, Becky, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jennifer says amazing, and being very resourceful at figuring out how to make a wrestling mat. I think a lot of us now have learned how to make a wrestling mat.
Well, and I was telling Katie or somebody, I said, this thing ended up because my glue got all over my plate or on my cardstock, so we just covered it up.
So there's another tip for everybody. If you get a little gluey, and I had a leaky glue last night, so I can see this happening, then you just can cover it up with she put a little piece of chipboard, a little tab.
And this shows everything that you get into.
And Dorothy says, congrats to Bella that girls rock. So we got a lot of,
they do.
We got some girl wrestling fans watching. So Becky, thank you. I think everybody loved this and enjoyed it, and I learned some. So it was very interesting. Oh, I think since I mentioned the cars, you need to tell us what kind of car you. Since I mentioned you guys were old car people, not that you're old people, but you have old cars.
Well, I'm older than my cars.
Then people are making comments about cars and what cars they have. So tell us what car you have, because I did get to see it.
My husband, this was shortly before I met him, bought a brand new 1971 Mustang Mach 1. And at that time, he did not know what it was going to look like. All he knew was the color, and we still have that to this day.
Oh, that's your original car that you owned? Oh my gosh. How nice that you didn't get rid of it. Most of us got rid of it.
Well, it sat in the garage for many years, and when the kids were little, because car seats didn't fit in there too well. But after the kids got grown up, and he dug it out and had it reworked, engine-wise, worked over, and new tires, and we were rolling.
Well, that's cool. I didn't realize it was your original car. That even makes it more special. Doug had a Mustang when he was in high school, and I know he wishes he still had it now.
Yeah.
So, all right, wonderful, Becky. Why don't you pass your microphone over to Rhonda? Now, Becky works a lot during the day, and she answers the phone a lot. You'll be talking to her on the phone, and now you know a little bit more about her, and you've seen her. We know she's got a granddaughter that wrestles, and I love all the comments about girl power because that's what I tell my daughter. And Becky, Elena says she wished she still had her 66 Mustang.
Oh, that was the, no, 64 was the intro year, wasn't it? 'Cause
I
it
don't
come out-
know.
he
I
had
don't
a
know.
64 and a half, too.
They had a
Convertible.
64 and a half?
64 and a half, because it
Oh
come
my
out
gosh.
late in the year.
Oh my
Convertible,
gosh.
red convertible.
I remember those.
Yeah, we're getting
They were fun.
we're getting a lot of good car comments. So, okay, now we're going to introduce Rhonda.
Hi, I'm Rhonda.
Hi is a good way to start.
I've shown my page here. This is my family. I've been married to my husband for, believe it or not, 51 years.
That's great.
And we've got 2 sons, 2 wonderful daughter-in-laws, and 5 grandkids. And a dog named Casey.
And we had a dog named Casey. I don't know if you knew that or not.
She's a Cocker Spaniel.
Here
We've had
she-
her for 13 years, and you can tell she's getting old, so
Yeah.
it's only a matter of time. But anyway, I just like to do scrapbooking. Long time ago,
Yeah.
I had a friend that I worked with. Well, I should say I worked for a doctor's office for 28 years, quit that, went to be an office manager at a retirement community, worked there until COVID hit, and then I decided, okay, I'm not going to work there anymore because of COVID,
Yeah.
and retired. I mean, basically retired.
She retired and then unretired to come work at
then
Memory Bound.
Yeah, and I love it. I love working
Oh,
here. It's so
good.
much fun. And my husband always says, "What'd you bring home today?" You know, there's lots of times I don't show him what I bring home, but anyway.
Yeah, leave it in the car.
But anyway, the picture of these cars is the story of the Nova up here is for our 50th wedding anniversary. That's what he gave me for our 50th wedding
Oh my
anniversary.
gosh.
Because I grew up driving that. It was it's not this car, it's another car, but I grew up learning how to drive that car. And I always said I wanted a 64 Nova. And one year for my birthday, he gave me a model of one. He says, "This is all you're ever going to get." And I said, "That's fine, I don't care." And then, lo and behold, he surprised me with
Oh
this.
my gosh.
He couldn't keep his secret very well because I kind of could read his face what he was doing.
Oh, you could tell.
And yeah, so anyway, it was kept in my son's garage, and he's got a
I didn't know
1940
that.
40 Chevy Coupe that he got one year. He bought it from a guy at Goodyear, or Good Guys, I should say. And I guess
So
my
you each have your own cars
we each
then.
yeah, my son kind of got him going because my son built his own rat rod, and
Oh my gosh.
my husband Mike, he helped him, and he just kind of got the bug of old cars, and that's how I found this car. So
So Rhonda, what's the trophy here?
trophy is from last year up at Madrid. For my car, I got 3rd place in my division.
Oh my gosh.
So
That's really cool.
Yeah.
What a nice 50th wedding anniversary gift.
yeah, it was fun.
It
was fun.
I wonder if Doug is watching. So if he isn't, I'll have to get him on the rerun. So, okay.
But anyway, I just like to scrapbook, and
We can tell you've got lots of scrapbooks here.
I've got different varieties. I have made scrapbooks for all my grandkids, and this is the very last one I'm working on. I should say I'm working on 2.
That's a big scrapbook.
I need to divide this up because my grandkids, from the first day they're born, that's
Yeah,
where I
let's see.
start, and
Oh.
all the way through their years, and then at graduation they get it. So they usually end up from anywhere to 3 to maybe 5 books, depending how
Oh my gosh.
active they are.
So is this just part of one?
This is just part of one.
part
This
of
is
one
our
grandchild?
this is
Oh
our
my
youngest
gosh.
Hunter, who is now a junior in high school. And it's just
So what?
just
Oh, I had a question now. I can't think about it. I can't think of it.
he's got an older sister, Hannah, that she's already graduated and still going to college, but yet she is a teacher, early childhood development, and still going to college to finish up her degree. And she ended up, I think, with 4 books.
So you go all the way through high school then?
Right. And all their activities, and like their birthdays, and when they've gone to preschool, and Halloween.
What a
and
keepsake. Don't you wish, I mean, maybe you do, but I don't. I would love to have something like that from my life.
Yeah. So
I would really love it. So that's really nice. And those of us that scrapbook, we all know how much time and love went into this.
I just
And-
came across this picture.
Oh,
He
no.
cut his arm. He was on a swing set and fell off. And he walked into his mom and said, "I need a Band-Aid." And she goes, "Oh, no, you don't. You need stitches."
That looks kind of
Yeah.
serious.
So, yeah, he ended up with stitches. I just saw that picture. I forgot about
Well,
that.
good thing somebody got a picture of that event, you know?
So, but I think some of these pictures I put in there, the kids go back and think, "You really did this for me?" You know, it's
Well,
like,
and
yeah.
you know what, Rhonda? I think a lot of us, we remember our life through photos. And
Yeah.
if they're not printed, because
Yeah.
I remember things from when I was really little, and I was like 2, and I don't think I really remember the event. I think I remember looking at the picture of it. So I think that's amazing.
And then another book I made, these are those flip books. This is one, my grandson, he plays rugby up at Iowa Central, up at Fort Dodge. So I just started, snapshotting some of his pictures of when he's in action to where he can just look back and say, "Oh yeah, I remember playing that game."
Yeah.
And right now he's in the National Guard finishing up his basic training. And then he'll come back and go back to Iowa Central.
So, and that's the flip book.
Yeah.
And what's cool is Rhonda attached a piece of paper to the front.
Right.
So you can turn these into any theme you want. And with that black paper, that looks like it just is part of the book, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And this is just another flip book. My son and daughter-in-law decided they needed to have 3 dogs, so they went and got a new puppy. So for her birthday, I just made her this book of the new puppy that they received. His name is Ruckus.
Oh my gosh.
And
Ruckus?
Ruckus, yeah.
Oh, look at that, everybody. Isn't that just so cute?
He's a year old now, but he is just, they're so lovable. That's a German short hair. He's got an older brother that's a German short hair. His name's Jet. And then he's got a little sister named Julie, who is 13 years old, and she rules the roost. It's like you
Yep.
don't mess with anything. So,
Yeah.
but
We have a dachshund grand dog, and he's his own man.
so anyway, just some pictures that he was always being told no, and he thought his name was
that's
No.
so cute. Very cute. Oh my gosh.
So and he gets to go on trips with them, and he goes hunting with his dad, my son.
I know they call their dogs, they call themselves mom and dad to
Yeah.
people love their dogs. They're just like their kids.
This is one trip he got to go to Minnesota to watch my granddaughter play rugby, and they took him to Cabela's and saw all the big animals like this one here. He says, "Wow, that's a big friend." But yeah, he's a good traveler because he's always wondering where he's going next.
He
So
likes to ride in the car and stuff.
he does. Yep,
That's cute. I bet that was a
does.
nice gift.
it was. She really liked it. She is an associate at one of the schools here. She even took it to her kids because she's an associate for kindergarten. The kids just really enjoyed looking at
Oh
it.
yeah, they probably love
So-
dogs and stuff.
And this is just another scrapbook I'm doing for my granddaughter. She is a senior at Iowa State, and she plays rugby. She started rugby probably, I'd say, 6 years ago. And for a girl, it's a very rough sport. It was so hard for her grandparents to watch her, but we're getting used to it. We don't know all the rules yet.
I wonder how
But-
many viewers have rugby players in their family. Isn't that kind of new? They didn't have it when my kids were in
Yeah.
school.
It's a new sport. This is Maddie up here several years ago, but she is just.
Oh, I like how you have all their names next to them because
This was the first tournament she got to go on by herself. She ended up going to Arkansas
Ooh.
on the airplane by herself because she was chosen for one of the teams, and she got to go. And she's been to like Louisiana for tournaments. She's been to Houston. She just got back from Austin, Texas for the Nationals, and their team, which comes from, let's see, there's like 3 girls from Iowa State, a couple from northern Iowa, Cedar Falls, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Illinois, all make a team. They never have played together. So they went down to Austin,
and then they
Texas.
go play together even. Oh, that would be a challenge.
And they ended up being 4th of their division. So
wow.
there's a picture of you know, grandpa and grandma hugging her when
Oh, yeah.
she played one
Well,
of the games.
I think, you know, all three of our staff members that were meeting today have got their classic cars, and you and Becky, I think rugby is kind of an unusual sport for Iowa.
It is, yeah.
And with girls wrestling with Becky, I just think that we'll have to see if Janene has any sports that she can come up with. Unusual. You know, usually it's basketball and baseball and stuff like that. So I love hearing about new ones.
And then my other book that I did for my husband for Father's Day, which I had to kind of do it on the side.
This is really neat.
This was when
I
he
love
was in
this.
the military, and I came across all of his papers in a manila folder, and I thought, no, look, I shouldn't have that in there. So I decided, this was younger years, so I decided to put it all together. It's
Look
just
at this. So it's like original paperwork and stuff.
right. His orders when he got sent, he went to Fort Ord out in California.
Were you guys married then, Rhonda?
No, we were not. No. He came back, and then we got married.
So look at, it's got like scores, and there's the group photo, and
Yeah.
I bet a lot of people have military things like this from their whoever was in the military, and lots of memorabilia and things that you really want to save for your family because it tells your story.
And then this picture I like because this is his parents when he came home when he got discharged from the Army Reserves.
Look at his mom looking
So-
at him. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, and I should say I had a good friend that kind of started me on this because she had made one for her husband, and I thought, well, if you can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
So this is what we did, or I did after I saw hers. So just kind of
Oh, I think this is a treasure for sure.
just he got to go on leave, or he said one weekend him and another friend hitchhiked to I can't remember, San Diego, I believe it was, or San Francisco,
And they even took pictures.
and they took pictures. And he said you wouldn't do that this day and age. So,
No.
but you can tell they're all old photos. So
Well, and it's good that you've got them in something archival in that so that they don't discolor.
And then I came across an article. I Googled Fort Ord because it's no longer in service, and I just kind of put that in there and kind of decided, they could read why it's no longer in service. It's still
Yeah.
there, but yet it's not an active.
I think it's good to
Base.
include articles, even if you're traveling and you just want to include an article about one of the sites
So-
that you're at. Oh, is that? And you got his hat in there.
Got his hat in there.
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
yeah. I would be down in the scrapbook room, and he'd come down and say, "What are you doing?" It's like I'd have to shove these under a.
You have to hide them. Was
Yeah.
he surprised? When you
Yes,
gave
he
it to
was
him?
very surprised.
I
So-
bet that was really cool.
But one other hobby I like
Yeah,
is
show us that.
I like doing puzzles, and this was
That's
the puzzle
that
here
was bigger than I thought it was going to be.
that came here from Memory Bound. And
Yeah, we had puzzles last fall and over the holidays, and everybody loves gnomes. And I don't remember if that was 500 pieces or
I think it
1,000
was,
or
and
something.
it's an odd shaped. I think it's 18 by 18, and you cannot find a frame 18 by 18. So we just glued it onto a canvas board.
Oh, good idea.
Because usually what I do, I glue them all together, and then we glued it onto the board. So yeah, I like doing puzzles.
Well,
And I like to
that's-
read,
and
and-
that's a nice decorative piece too.
Yeah. So yeah, I just have a lot of different things I like to do.
How long have you been scrapbooking?
Oh my goodness. Let's see. My oldest granddaughter is, I'd say, a good 23 years.
Wow. So
Off
you
and on.
probably came to Memory Bound you've probably been a customer since we opened, I would guess.
Oh, probably. Yes.
That's good.
Yep.
Diana said she made a book for each of her sons when they were in the military because her husband was in the military and didn't have any memorabilia and had a hard time remembering the guys he served with. So she thought that was a good thing, and it certainly is. Awesome.
Yep.
Rhonda, thank you a bunch. Now everybody knows Rhonda. We know a little bit more about her when you call and she answers the phone or you see her name on your order. And look at these scrapbooks. This one I think is amazing. That's like, I don't know, maybe 4 inches tall or something like that.
Yeah, about that.
So Rhonda, thanks so much for
You're welcome.
sharing today.
You're welcome.
It's really sweet. Now we're going to move on to Janene. We're going to be 3 of 3 now. And we got Janene over here.
Oh, thanks.
And I think it's cool that we're getting to meet 3 people today. I love that. Janene's getting her microphone on. I'm just going to step back over here and lean against this counter, and
Take a break.
I'll come over here and we'll look at things while you. Oh, now she's clipped.
Am I ready?
Yep, we're ready, Janene. Now, Janene has done some demos for us before, and
Oh, Katie.
these two just showed
Why do I
up.
have a...
These two just showed up to harass her.
Oh, Lord.
So, and there's Becky. She's got her headset on, ready for a phone call.
answer your call.
And thank you, Becky and Rhonda. It was really good. I learned a lot. I'm learning so much about everybody. Diana wants to know what people's favorite types of scrapbooks are. If they prefer the D-ring or the hinge, strap hinge. And Janene doesn't really do the big scrapbooks. So, Becky, how about you guys? So how about you guys? Do you guys have a preference?
I kind of like the D rings.
What about you,
I like the
Becky?
rings so that I can open them up, and if I want to insert a page, I can do that a little easier than having to take them off the.
So Becky likes the D-rings because she can move pages around easier. Penny, do you have a favorite?
Well, I started with Creative Memories, and I have too many albums not to use up.
So she's doing the strap, and Katie,
I do D-ring.
D-ring.
Yeah.
D-rings are probably our
D-ring or my own ring.
the 3 ring or our own ring. The Rhonda, do you have an album preference like that you like to use more of? Like,
Strap or
Like the
D?
D rings or the
Strap strap. Or
strap. Or
No, I really don't.
okay, Rhonda doesn't have a preference.
Rhonda goes both ways.
The best seller at Memory Bound are the 3-ring or D-ring albums. And I think Becky said it when she said they're easy to. And hey, everybody, chime in and tell us what you like the best. Okay, Janene, tell us about Janene.
Here I am.
Here she is.
Everybody
Okay.
already knows me now.
Not everybody knows you.
Well, I just want to... When Katie first told me that we were going to do this, she said we
Are you
needed to make
sitting
a
on
layout.
the floor, Janene?
I know I am.
Do you
I
need
got
a
the short
taller
chair.
chair?
It's
Can you
okay.
get her a new chair? It's weird.
I feel better behind the table this way.
Well, Janine's got her chair was something was wrong with that chair.
I had that at lunch the other day too.
Yes, you
Okay,
did.
Katie's getting her
Sitting on the
chair. All
floor.
right, here we go.
Okay.
Is that higher?
Is that better?
We're getting a lot of 3-ring lovers. Okay, Janine, now
I'm
I
gonna
feel like
try-
I feel
Is
like
that
you're a
better?
grown up now. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Finally. Okay. Well, since I don't do a lot of scrapbooking, I'm trying to do some for my of my grandkids, but we'll see how it goes. I like doing little books and stuff, but when Katie first told me about this project, she said I could make it as little as I wanted or as much as I wanted. So, for Katie, I made this little 4x4. This is my first little page.
So
layout.
everybody was asked to do a layout. So Janine went all out and made the 4x4.
I even made a little mini me.
Oh, and there's
Yes, I
Janine
got
right
the
there.
Blue jeans on and the tie-dye shirt.
And
because
yep. And matching tennis shoes.
Yeah. Yep. And
So
definitely. And those are all the things I love. Well,
Look at all those
some of.
parts.
Yeah, people do
Tell
love
Hope
it.
I'm anxious to see her mini me.
TJ says hello.
Hi, TJ. So
I love that you made that little person. Is
I
that
took some
which?
time.
Little Janine, not just a
I
little
know.
person.
Well, I know it's a little Janine, but what?
it's one of the.
Which one is it? It's not the
which were those
trick or
kind-
treaters.
No, it's the. What were they called? The part. Because there's a vampire that I made Elvis out of, and then. I can't remember what it's
All right.
called.
Well, it's one of
Holtz.
Tim
Yeah.
Holt's little people.
But he's the bomb. This one's probably the easiest that sort of look like me, and then my crazy hair. But I
Yes.
had a hard time trying to get
She's
white
got
and gray in there.
the glasses like she just came in from the sun or something.
And I don't know what. Yeah, my eyes are kind of weird, but I couldn't get that figured out.
Oh, they
Well,
look like they're sunglasses. I thought
yeah.
you had sunglasses on.
Well, that's what they are then. They're sunglasses.
That she's got on her sunglasses. So
But
you love being with family, taking pictures, music, crafting, watching sports, going fishing, and of course, working at Memory Bound. Did you add that later, Janine?
Why does it look like it?
No.
No,
No, it doesn't. It's good.
no, I absolutely love it.
Good job,
and
Janine.
and then there's a real picture of me with my pig. Not my pig.
OSHA
but
says way to think outside of the box. And
I'm not.
Peggy, they all know how creative you are with the people dies. She's made I don't know, between you and Teresa, brides, grooms, cheerleaders,
Oh,
Elvis,
gosh.
a leprechaun, or a little elfie guy?
Teresa and me, she got me going on that, just talking about it, and then we just kind of challenged each other to make things. But anyway, I'm Janene, and probably most of you already know me. I've been here for a little while now. I grew up in Des Moines, which is sort of, a suburb of Ankeny now, but back in those days it was a little, grew up on the east side. I went to, graduated from East High School, which a lot of people, if they know me, that I talk heavily about that. I have a lot of pride in
She likes East High School. Well, they want to see this too, Janine. But go ahead, I'll show your picture.
I have a brother and a sister that are older than me. I have, let's see, I worked for the state my real job was I worked for the state of Iowa for 39 years as an IT specialist. Then on the side, I've always done photography, and so for a few years, well, until the press assistant closed, I freelanced for the press assistant and did sports photography for all the Des Moines schools and Carlisle and Norwalk.
She's a great photographer, and she's brought in some of her pictures to show us, because you might not realize that, and you still do it. You don't work for the newspaper anymore, but you still do it on the side.
I do for people, yeah. So anyway.
Do you want to just tell us a little bit about these, Janine? Maybe just, because this one I think is pretty cool, and you had a story about this one.
That one I took, actually I was down at the, I think it was still in Betts at that point.
Yeah.
Anyway, at the state tournament, I think actually East was there in the tournament, but Ankeny was also playing, and so they'd asked me just to cover some pictures of Ankeny when I was there. I took the shot, ended up actually...
So she was on the floor taking the shot.
You always had to be down right in the action. Sit down there. Now I don't think my knees will allow that to sit down there that much. But
Yes.
I would love to still do it.
You got to do it while
but,
your knees are still good.
I got, oftentimes I was down at the tournaments and stuff, so I had media passes, but actually once they actually gave me a media pass to the Iowa State Cyclones to the basketball game, which was like the best day ever. But and so that picture for the newspaper, I won the first place.
So that's
This award.
This is the award she got for the photo. And I just realized it's called Keep Your Eye on the Ball. And Janine earlier today told me that it's kind of all about the faces. So everything's blurred out but those boys and the ball. And they are all looking right at it, which is really
Easy
cool.
typing for it.
I just saw what you called it, Keep Your Eye on the
Yep.
Ball. That's really cool. So you got an award for a newspaper award for the Iowa Newspaper Foundation and for the Iowa State
And
Fair.
then I entered it in the fair and got second place.
Yeah, really cool.
But
And then she's
just-
got a couple of country music photos, and no, I could never get that close to take a picture of at a concert, Janine. So,
well, we were in the front row, but
well,
yeah,
that
it's
might
still a
help, but
challenge.
still.
Yeah, and if you're country music fans, you probably know Toby Keith and Kenny Chesney much. My mom, Toby Keith was the love of her life.
The love of her life.
She wanted to meet him so bad, and so we saw
Well, she
him.
got in the front row.
Yeah,
I
and
would
my
say that was
nephew
pretty
got
good.
an autograph from him once down in Oklahoma, so that was pretty special for her. But anyway, and then
Very cool.
same year that this picture, that's my daughter actually swimming.
Oh, that's your daughter? I didn't
Yep.
know that.
She's a great swimmer, Frankeny.
Yeah.
I got all I got for that was honorable mention, but that's okay.
Well,
that's
honorable
still
mention
that's
is
still
pretty good. Oh yeah, you can see like
Gotta
the
keep-
splashes and everything are pretty cool.
Yeah, she was a breaststroker. She was very, very good.
So, and now this was another award that you got
that was the
for your
same.
photography business.
Yep. Ankeny still has a press assistant, don't they?
I don't know
I don't
because I really want to get one, but it doesn't come out to our house for some reason.
Every year they did this thing where people could vote for the best of. They had all these categories, restaurants, whatever. And I don't know how I won that, but anyway, that year
Well, I think that's amazing for a home-based business because
probably was.
if you're a restaurant, there's more public coming in and things. So I think that's great.
Yeah,
And
I
they
don't-
love your photos. Everybody's talking about how good they are.
Thank you.
And a lot of other people that love photography.
Yep, it's a.
So then these are books that you made for people
Yeah,
that you did photography for?
I used to shoot mostly after the Press Citizen quit, and I couldn't go to all the different schools and do all that. I just strictly stuck with East, and they allowed me to be kind of like their photographer.
Oh, so this is all from, okay, I got it
So these
now.
are different people. Sometimes I just take pictures, put them on the website, but then sometimes people would have me, they'd buy stuff and we'd make like books. And I know that Bryce's mom does shop here because the other day she came in and I
Oh my gosh.
recognize you. Anyway, her son was awesome still playing baseball, I think. But anyway, so I love making the digital books for them. It's just, it goes easier. The pictures are it's just easier to manipulate. And
That is true. I like that one, that the whole page is
Yeah.
a photo.
he was a pitcher. He pitched some, but he was a shortstop, and he's just phenomenal. I told her, I said, he's still making
Well,
the
Janene,
pros.
I think you got some good photos there. Oh my gosh. And sports photos are the hardest. My kids are in their 30s, but I remember trying to take pictures and you could never get good pictures. So it's very impressive.
Football's hard. Well, basketball's kind of hard too because the inside.
Inside.
But football can be treacherous because of the evening games. But that's times like the underclassmen play a little bit earlier, so it makes whatever. But I love football. I mean, I never got ran over. A couple times close.
You do see
You
that
hear the
happen
thunder
occasionally
of
on the NFL
feet,
games.
and you're like,
Then get out.
"Wah!"
Get away.
Start running backwards as quick as you can. But
Those are really nice and excellent photos. Everyone's commenting about your photos. And Elena wants to know what kind of camera you prefer.
I have a Nikon.
A Nikon?
Yep.
Okay.
Which
All right.
just as good as the camera.
It's a big one, too. It looks heavy to carry around.
Well, if you have the big lens on, it is heavy. Grant, I do think that my pain on my neck all the time now is because of that.
Could be. Okay, it's the knees and the neck.
Oh man, it's a life, but it's good. So
All right.
since I don't do layouts, I do love Elizabeth Craft. You probably heard that before.
I think some people, if they've been watching, definitely
I'm
know you're
gonna-
Elizabeth Crafts.
Try to do more of my books like this, just simple things, different categories or whatever. But so this is just kind of about me. This is our family a few years ago. That's me, the little one.
Janene was
Like I
kind
said,
of
my
like
brother and
the-
sister are quite a bit older than me.
Yeah, she was kind of
You
like
can
the
tell.
baby that came along later.
Yeah, sort of.
So this is the Elizabeth Crafts Planner book, and it's kind of mysterious to a lot of people. Janene went and got a couple to show you. They do come in different covers, and then all of those dies that we show you, and they have they've got pages on them like this one, and Janene will show you this that has the little holes, and then they fit right into the planner. And Diane used the Sidekick. Was she here yesterday? I can't.
Yeah.
Okay, that was yesterday. Wow, time
I was watching.
gets away with you. Gets away with me, I mean. So Diane's had the little bit smaller planner called the Sidekick.
Yes. So anyway, a little more recent. That's our 50th anniversary. It's still been. That was 1990. That was a few years ago too. But one of probably the last good pictures of all of us together.
That is a good one. That's a really good photo.
And so this is my sister and brother. My sister.
And there's Janene, the little one.
There's it's so funny pictures when they do that, like the shrimp. So that's way back. Here, this was on my 60th birthday, so it's a little closer to what we look like now. And no, I did surpass my sister, so I am not the shortest one now. but
Yeah, you
anyway.
did, it looks like you did get a little taller than her.
Anyway, and so me and my mom and my dad.
Oh, that's really cool.
She was. This is one of that one. No, it's a Elizabeth Craft, but
It's like a file folder, but I love. Isn't
yeah,
it?
it's the bigger one that folds over.
I love how you
'cause,
did it though, because you just kind of made a flap on your page.
So since these are little, to get more pictures in, these flaps and things are your friend.
Oh, they're your friend. I like that.
Anyway, so
Well, they're enjoying seeing your Elizabeth Craft project here. Lots of comments about it, Janene.
and I love
You were a
music.
saxophone player?
Yes.
I didn't know that. See?
Yeah, and I played drums. Basically, I played drums because I think my dad always must have wanted to play drums, so he talked me into. He's like, "I'm gonna buy a set of drums. You want to play?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Sure.
So I took a few lessons, then goofed around with it more than anything. But saxophone was my love. I mean, I love music. So I played all the way through, and there I actually had long hair, which is
They
really
say
weird.
that is very. It's a
It
good
looks
thing you told us
concentrated.
that was you, because I've never seen you with long hair, or me either. So
Yeah, that wasn't long after that. I don't think it ever went back because it was just too much. But anyway, so I used the little tabs on there.
okay, and that was. Do we have those so we can show people? Or,
I
those
bring
are
them
sold
over,
out.
sorry. They're sold out. I don't. Okay, there might. No, I don't know if there was any over there. Anyway.
So that was the font that the tab alphabet, was that the name of it?
Yeah.
And that's the one that Diane absolutely loved, and we have sold a lot of them since. I think a lot of people like them.
So anyway, and then
Oh wow, is that the band?
this is our marching band. In the bicentennial year, we got to go to Washington D.C. and we performed for Iowa Day, and so that's the steps of the Capitol.
Oh, cool.
But it's hard to get that picture shrunk down because
Yes.
it was kind of a big band back
That's
then.
a big-
It's really. And then our jazz band got to play in front of the Lincoln Memorial. It's pretty cool. We
Yeah,
had
that is
those.
neat. Were you in the
That was an
jazz
honor.
band?
I was in any kind of music thing there was because I
Okay,
loved
you love music.
yeah, pep band, jazz band, anyway. And so then on to the rest of my life. I have a son and a daughter. Angie, probably you hear me talk about her and her family a lot. She's, the kids are, she's the oldest. She went to Ankeny.
She's the swimmer.
She's the swimmer. That's pretty recent of her
Did you take
family.
that picture of her family?
No.
No?
Darn it. No.
Yes, you could say yes.
Well, obviously, she lives in Indiana, so I'm not as handy to do these pictures when she needs them for a Christmas card.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
Janene, it's a really small world because Kimberly says she was on the same band trip to Washington, D.C.
Kim who?
Briggs, I don't know if that's a maiden name, if that's her
She
maiden name.
graduate.
Kim, you're going to have to give us a call or put on here. Maybe you guys know each
I
other.
know her.
We should.
Was she in band? Steppers?
Well, I assume she was in band. Kimberly, you have to let us know what instrument you played or what you did. And Dawn wants to know if you were in show choir. Were you
No.
a singer or more of a
No. Just no. I can't.
instrument
Yeah,
player?
just instrument player. But this is my son Danny, and me, and his daughter Lily.
He is tall.
Which, yes, he's. I don't know.
Is Lily the one that travels with you?
Yep.
Okay.
This is
She's
my
our traveler.
road trip buddy. And this is my daughter-in-law. I call her my daughter-in-law, Jeanette. I don't have a lot of good pictures of her, so Jeanette, we've got to work on this
That
a little
is something.
bit.
That's a goal. Okay. Her middle name was Maughan, M-A-U-G-H-A-N, class of '78. Kimberly,
Ivy.
M-A-U.
Was she in band?
Okay, Kimberly, were you in band?
Yes.
What
No.
instrument did you play?
This
Was
is
it
gonna-
only band members that went?
No, the steppers and the color
Oh,
guard.
okay. All right, Kimberly, we need a little more information. And then Janene will get her yearbook out tonight.
And then this is another one that kind of new Elizabeth Craft page that has the different pockets in it.
Yeah, that's
It had
really
the
neat.
leaves
It
on
cuts
it.
them so you can just
Yeah,
slip your stuff in there.
Works kind of cool. Anyway, anyway, I guess I didn't tell Angie's kids. This is Emma, Jack, and Adam.
And Adam is our viewer,
Oh.
although I think he went to school now, didn't he, Janene?
he's
But
off
he used to
to
watch our videos.
Yes, he called them the cute card ladies. And he learned a
so
lot of
funny.
neat techniques. It's pretty funny to listen to him craft because you'll hear him say, like, I think I'll make a banner like they did it.
I love that. It's hilarious.
Sweet. And then my husband and I were both married previously. These are his kids, which now I totally take them in as part of, it's just part of us. We're all a
Yep.
combined family.
Yours, mine, and ours. Remember that
Vanessa-
movie?
Yep. Vanessa and her husband Matt with Ethan, Eric, and Lindsay. And then his son Charlie, his girlfriend, which is now his fiance. We're going to be planning a wedding, so that's pretty exciting.
Yay.
So that's
That is
that's our whole
exciting.
gang, which, and because of all these wonderful kids, we get the most awesome grandkids, which is the best job ever to have.
You do have a great group of grandkids. And
Um,
Janene has lots of fun at her house.
No, we
Lots
just,
of parties and things with the grandkids.
we just can't get enough. But they're starting to grow up on you now. It's a neat way. But anyway, this is that new heart page, which
So that is Planner Essentials 57. It's called Heart Overlay. And look at all the dies on there. Oh my
all kinds of
gosh.
stuff.
And I'm really glad you did it because I wanted to see what it looked like. I thought it'd be so cool having the hearts go across the page like that.
So, well, actually, it is all open. I just filled some in because there was kind of some blank spots. I just put them back in, and then the little letters come on another Elizabeth Craft die. The one that has there's like birds on a tree limb, and then there has like a. I'm sure we don't have it now, but it was a little older one, but
Janene Kimberly was flute and color guard.
okay.
She's gonna
I'm
figure.
gonna go
she's
look
gonna
at my
figure it
yearbook.
out.
I'm
She's
gonna
gonna
figure this
figure out
out.
who you are, Kimberly.
Kimberly, okay. Anyway, so
Oh, there's Janine's
here's the
camera.
joy, and here's my camera, and Adam. Well, Adam and Lily, I think, are my two that just want to be taking
They just
pictures.
love their grandma.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they. I think.
I
They,
would say so.
but Adam, just a brief little section, but then for him, just push that button to see that flash go off. He just got laughing so hard, which then made me laugh so.
Oh, that's so
He's
fun.
a character. But anyway, they're definitely the sunshine of my life. That's for sure. But and so this is the heart die.
That's another. Oh, we do have it.
Half
I
heart,
wasn't
we
sure
do
we
have
had it. So
Yeah, and you can make two different sizes.
that's. Oh, it is called half heart.
It's only half. a
So
heart.
there's another page for the planner, and you don't have to use it in your planner. You can use it in other things. And
Okay.
Janene.
Let's see, you could make it.
Oh, and then when you
So, yeah.
open it up, you got like a full heart. I like that.
And that's us probably looking at pictures on the phone because they love to look at pictures of
Yeah, they
themselves,
do. They do. Kids do like to see themselves in pictures. That's for sure.
This was a couple years ago because they're getting a little too big. But they all decided to sit up on the dog houses up on our deck. And so, of course, Grandpa's like, "Get your camera and come out here."
Well, to get them all together, that's a trick. And then to get
Oh,
them all
yeah.
looking at the camera and all smiling, that's a trick too.
Yeah, and my selfies are. We're working on those things. It's hard to take a picture of yourself. Anyway,
That's why we're doing me in 23 this month, so people do take more pictures of themselves.
and I love the cyclones. Everybody probably knows that. Anyway, and so then these are then I wanted to use that like a viewfinder page.
Oh yes, you were talking about what you did with that.
And my husband is always taking, not a lot, but he takes pictures of me, like taking pictures of stuff. I guess
that's
he finds
cool.
it fascinating. So
I think
I'm on the
that's
deck.
neat.
I'm always, I was probably taking hummingbirds at that point, but these are just some of the things.
And then
Most
these are
of them from my house, except for the eagle was out by Saylorville. But
oh my gosh, Janene, that's amazing. Those
I
bird
keep-
pictures, the cardinal, and I don't know, is that a blue jay?
blue jay, and we've had a couple families of geese on our pond, and They're so adorable.
You could even do, you're talking about your grandkids. You could even do like funny faces in those. You can do a lot of things in those.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool die. And I hadn't really used it much, so I thought it's time to get it out.
Time to get it out.
Anyway, and so there's, there he was. I never know when he's taking these pictures, so you never know. But, some days you can just find me sitting there. But all of a sudden, like
That's
about
nice.
50 geese showed up. There's like 5 families or so.
They all came to see you.
Yeah. And the dogs are always by my side.
Janene lives
forgot
out in
to
the
s-
country.
I forgot to say that the 5, we do have 5 fur kids, but since I just showed you those in that book, I didn't put more pictures of them. But anyway, this is a deer picture that I took, and I used the Elizabeth Craft die that has the tree on it, trying to just kind of get a different effect there.
Cool. And Anna has a question. I think the viewfinder die is still available. And did we not have it, or did you look for it, Janene? Or
I don't think we have it, but not too long ago we ordered it for somebody.
yeah, so we can get that. We'll have an order going in soon, and we'd be happy to get that for people. And Julie thinks it's great that your husband is taking pictures, because
We always say, you're always taking pictures of everybody else anyway. And
I
these
know.
were some deer that I captured these guys out back one day with a baby, and then this was out in the front
looks like
yard.
Bambi.
But yeah, shortly after we'd moved that first spring, we went, we have a pond, but there's a yard in front, there's a pond, and then our house is back behind there. And anyway, we went for a walk on the far side of the pond, and we were just walking along. That's when I had my beagle and whatever, and we all of a sudden I looked over, and by this tree was this baby deer, a little fawn. It was all curled up, just in this ball, just laying there by itself. And I'm like, I thought something had happened
Is it
to
alive?
it.
Yeah.
And it was alive. But I'm like, why is it here by itself? And no mom. Well, I'm sure the mom was in the woods watching us. But apparently when fawn are little, they have no scent.
Oh, so they can be out in the open, and
Yeah.
predators don't
And
know
so
they're
the dog
there.
had never picked up on it at all, but here we were walking and I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh. So I had to run all the way back to the house. I mean, seriously, I was running. I probably could have had a heart
You were
attack and
running. You
died.
could have had a heart attack. You were running so hard.
Came back with my camera so I could get a picture. This isn't the one, but it was so precious. But yeah, you can't,
Well-
things that I've seen out there and take pictures of, it's,
Janene, you probably don't realize this because you're not seeing the comments, but a lot of people are excited to see one of these books put together because they've seen the dies, but it's hard to really know how they work. And maybe they've seen the planners, but to see it all together like this is really cool. They love it.
Anyway, so I love going fishing. I was in our boat. That was probably out at Big Creek. And my goal is always to catch a bigger fish than my husband.
That's a good goal. I love it.
But then he has to take it off the hook. I'm not so good about getting the fish.
I wouldn't do the hooks or the worms. I mean, the fish or the worms.
I
don't
can
wanna
do
touch
the
them.
minnows better than worms. But anyway, and there's me and Lily.
You look
We
so happy,
always
Janene.
and they're around. It is your best life. It's just good. But
Very
and
true.
we're of course teaching all the grandkids they have to fish, and they love it. And then I love the state fair, and we have to talk about it. And after I ate the pork chop on a stick, which unfortunately I was
Poor little
probably I
pig.
shouldn't have put the picture with the pork
Poor little
chop.
pig.
Oh well. I guess that's what they're there for. And
And that's at the fair too.
yeah. I like to converse with the animals. I love animals.
Yes.
Of course, you can tell that.
So animals and music and photography and crafting and
Just being silly is
Fishing.
basically it.
well, that's the way to be.
I don't know.
That's a cool album. Janene said this is probably how she's doing all of her memory keeping going forward is in the Elizabeth
I
Craft
wanted to do like
A5 planners.
I think I'll do some, state fair and whatnot. But anyway, these are a couple of my scrapbooks, and as you'll see, they're not that. That's why I
Well,
don't.
let's see.
And they're a few years old, but
Well, that's
one
good.
of the first.
Oh, wow.
Hoover, the boys' Hoover team went to or won the state basketball tournament. Ooh, gosh, what year was that? It says.
It said, I missed it because I was reading a comment. It's on the first page. Oh, maybe it's
Oh,
not.
2006. Okay. And so we got to, or I got to go with them on the journey down at Vets. But so, like I say, my scrapbooking talents.
I think
are
it looks great. Well, I like it
Kind
because
of
you've
fun.
got the memorabilia, and I always like to add memorabilia if you can.
Yeah, you gotta remember it. So I also have lots of books that have I have saved all the papers with all the pictures that's been in it, which every week could have been,
Oh, okay.
7 different papers
Right.
or something. And so I'm still putting those together. And
So
paper
these are
will be
pictures you
saved.
took for the newspaper? Is that
Yeah.
what- okay. And you put them in an album.
But then I just kept them, yeah. There's some, I guess I don't have the,
Well, that's kind of neat that you put your pictures that you
Yeah.
took for the newspaper, that you printed them and you're keeping them in a scrapbook. I think that's really neat.
yeah, I don't know. It's probably not a good thing now because it's like I said, it's still papers that are getting really yellow, waiting to be put in something. But this was when. Oh, gosh, sorry.
And it's funny because we had a question about the pork chop on a stick, and I was I was known for the Iowa State Fair and whatever you can eat on a stick.
That's
They even have ice cream. Well, of course, ice cream on a stick and
Well,
deep fried Twinkies on a
if
stick.
you go to the fair, you have to get a pork chop on a stick. It's awesome.
Yeah, we're kind of. Iowa's kind of known.
Oh,
Iowa's
yeah.
kind of known for their fair and for
Carl.
the food on a stick and everything. So
And then 2003, the Carlisle boys won the state tournament. I think they won since then again too. Maybe.
and that's the
but
same pictures that you took for the newspaper.
This is the newspaper clipping here. But we went all out. We were all up there, and then we got to stand on top of this building to take pictures. And my writers were with me, and we oh yeah, they had a
So this would be one of your photos right there, Janene.
yeah.
Oh, cool.
And
Very
so
cool.
I tried to start out doing like here's the real picture, but here is how it was in the
okay.
paper. But then it got too hard to.
So they
keep
crop them down. They crop them a little bit, just like we do.
Oh yeah, yeah. They have different because they have different shapes and whatnot. But that was so cool, fun. Hello. And but anyway, we had a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, this is a neat photo right there. Very cool, Janene.
I worked with one of the guys that son played on the team, so of course he was buying the whole book of this because he wanted all these pictures. But anyway, that's pretty fun. This was one of my favorite things, and
Okay,
my
so here's
editor did. I'd taken this whole sequence, so he made this.
so he did a minute. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very, Janene, I think you're our only professional photographer that we have working here at Memory Bound. So we don't have a lot of. We all are photographers,
Well,
of
yeah,
course.
I was gonna say, you have
and
to.
we can do a lot with our iPhones now, but not like you can do like the sport pictures. Nothing like that.
The camera's still the best for sports, I think,
Yeah, one for a lot of things.
because those phones just don't stop the action and.
People say they love your Elizabeth crafts, they love your sports photos, they love seeing the album about how you use the planner, and thank you for all the ideas with the dies. So Dorothy says she's going to give them a try.
All right. Yeah.
So I guess
a lot of them's been asking for make a book, so we know what to do with them.
I know, and I think showing this today, between you showing your album and Diane showing hers, I think we do feel a lot more comfortable. I was always just thought they were just for planners or calendars or something like that. So it was kind of cool to see that they are good for memory keeping, and I think that's what they're intended for also.
I think they started out, like you said, as a planner, but it's just grown. I mean, she's just got so many cool dies that you just can't help it.
Yeah. Okay, Janene, we do have a question for you that I missed. Thank you, Janet. If you're just starting out with Elizabeth Craft what would be the first thing to buy?
Well, I'd say it's kind of nice. There's like the first 3 or 4 planner pages have these. There's like a page with at the top. Then planner 2 is the tabs here. Then the third one, it's down a little bit lower. And then the fourth planner, Essentials, is just square. And you're going to need that just
So
square.
start with the early planner essentials, and then you're going to get the basic pages.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you're saying? Awesome.
Okay.
And then we did miss one thing about you, Janene. We missed your car. And I know you said
Oh,
you didn't bring
yeah.
a picture of
I
it.
didn't bring a picture.
But tell us what you have for a car, since I talked about that.
Okay, we have, well, my husband has, a 1941 Chrysler New Yorker, which is a really big blue car.
The big blue car.
It's pretty cool though, suicide doors and whatever, but you can fit about, I think you probably fit a family of 10 in it at the time. I mean,
oh my
it's big.
gosh.
No, but
I was disappointed because when we were at the car show last summer, you had
Oh,
some
yeah.
motor problems, and you
we were
couldn't
there
bring
the
it
first
back.
day, and then, but anyway, that's sort of how I know Becky before that we're all here now, but we also have other connections too. But
I
and
know.
then-
I think it's funny that we have 3 of you that all have the
maybe
classic cars.
Maybe if you get one, Kelly,
Well,
the
I'm working
Chevelle,
on
we
it.
could start doing a car show right out
right
here in the
here
park.
in our parking lot.
Yeah,
Well, I'll see what I can
I
do.
can't drive ours
I'm going to
very well.
save up, Janene.
Okay.
So, okay, and Laura's asking about the early sets of the dies. And I think what we'll do is we'll just have Diane place an order and get those coming in. So we'll have them. And if you want us to hold one for you, just give us a call. And we're happy to do that. And we'll make sure we have them in stock. And they'll be all set. Lisa says planners are fun. She loves them. And Janet just posted a link. So Janene, thank you, and a big thanks to Rhonda and Becky and Janene. I called it a trifecta today. Our 3 who's who meet the staff, and tomorrow I don't have the schedule where I can read it, but tomorrow I know we have another meet the staff person, but I don't know who. But it's going to be good. Elena says that your car is big, all in caps. Her mom had a New Yorker with the push button transmission shift.
Oh,
So
well, ours is on the column, 3 on the.
is it?
Yeah, that's one reason I can't drive it. Plus, I can't see over the steering wheel. So
You have to sit on a pillow,
Yeah.
Janene.
either that or I'm like a peeper. I have to look under the steering wheel. It's pretty weird.
Okay. All right. And Doug just yelled from behind the wall that tomorrow is Penny. So we're going to have the pleasure of meeting Penny tomorrow. So
Cool.
everyone, thank you. Have a good and crafty day. And we'll be back tomorrow. Oh, and I didn't even mention it. Okay, I got to walk up here. Starting today, we've been having 5-day sales here in the month of February. And for our starting today and going through Sunday, our winter themed items are all 30% off. So anything that's in our winter theme section, and there might be some exceptions to that, but our winter section and our Valentine's section is going to be 30% off also. So you can go online and you can check it out, or you can come on into the store. We'd love to see you. But those are our two categories that are 30% off through Sunday. So be sure and check that out. And Janet, thank you. She mentioned that all 3 of our Spotlight staff people will be on the blog too. So once again, have a crafty day, and we'll be back tomorrow.